Ever been disappointed by an intriguing post with no updates or resolution? Think stories with updates and conclusions are a chef's kiss? Well, I'll be posting from r/best of Redditor updates. Hope you're ready, because here's part 1. Concluded story. Reposted by Direct Caterpillar 77OP is throwaway 09822726 and posted in Am I the Ashhole on June 6, 2021. Trigger warnings: child abuse, emotional abuse and manipulation, verbal abuse, absentee parents, favoritism.
Am I the ashhole for telling my mom that she's the cause of all my brother's problems? I, a 33-year-old woman, have a sister who is 30 and a little brother who is 17. My mom, a single mother after our parents divorced while she was pregnant with my brother, was a wonderful mother to both me and my sister. However, she switched up incredibly while raising my brother, so much to the point that I offered to raise my brother instead. So my brother, who is now a junior in high school, has self-esteem issues, especially related to how he looks and weighs. He was a chubby baby, and my mom used to say negative things to him all the time, which I guess kind of ruined his self-esteem. My sister and I always called him cute, handsome, etc. But obviously, our mother's words had a bigger effect on him. To put it in perspective for you guys, he is 6'1", underweight, objectively a good-looking kid, yet still finds himself ugly and or fat. I, a 5'8" woman, weigh more than him and am at a healthy weight. Anyways, despite everything, he's still a cheerful and talkative kid who really does love our mother, and this makes me 10 times angrier. Now on to the problem. I made a mess in the kitchen yesterday while doing a little baking and accidentally fell asleep on the couch due to exhaustion and forgot to clean up. My mom saw the mess and started screaming at my brother, and my brother said that he'd clean it up and that he was sorry. He basically admitted to doing something he didn't do, and when I found out, I immediately told my mom it was my fault, but she said that it was fine. I asked her to apologize to him, but she said that he was a man and that she doesn't need to. I got mad and told her that if she kept this up, then her son will end up doing something drastic. She said that she wasn't doing anything, and I said something along the lines of, "Seriously? You're literally the cause of all his problems." I also called her a terrible mother. She got mad. She said I didn't go through all this shit for my own daughter to take a boy's side over her own mother's. She made a lot of gender-based comments like, "You're a girl. You should take my side, and he's a boy. He deserves it," etc. Then she went to her room and slept. Honestly, I'm just confused now. Also, while I don't regret standing up for my brother, I feel like maybe I shouldn't have blamed her for all his issues since it's a pretty big accusation and she's obviously hurt. I'm thinking I should have been more mature. Plus, she wasn't a bad mother to me or my sister, so maybe that was uncalled for too. But yeah, am I the ashhole for blaming my mother for all of my brother's problems?
Verdict: not the ashhole.
She sounds misandrist AF. Does he happen to look like his father? Not the ashhole at all. I would talk with your bro and try to be his shoulder. Your mom is completely fucking him up, and it may be too late to undo all her damage.
Edit, I'm not implying he's beyond hope of healing, just that it's going to leave scars. So the quicker you help him start healing, the better. We're actually mixed. Our dad is East Asian, mom is white, and he looks more Asian than my sister and I, so yes, he does look more like our dad in a way. The fact that it might be too late, that's what I'm terrified about. I'll still try and be his shoulder though. Thanks.
It's pretty obvious she is taking out her anger at your father on him. It's so sad. The same thing happened to my little cousin after his mother's acrimonious divorce. Just be there for him as much as you can, and try as much as possible to help him understand that none of this is his fault, and there is nothing wrong with him. Feel free to throw your mother under the bus to get this through to him. If possible, help him get out of the house as soon as he is old enough and away from her abuse. Not the ashhole. But your mom is the ashhole for being sexist. Feel free to throw your mother under the bus to get this through to him. Can't your brother move in with his dad?
Dad lives in his home country, and traveling is a bit of a no-can-do due to, what? My sister and I live with our mom and brother because, she's older, and we're also concerned about our brother, so we don't have our own places. We're unfortunately low on money as well. However, I can try and talk to my dad about what's going on, but he's remarried and is very busy these days, so I don't really know.
Part 2, update June 12, 2021.
So nobody really asked for an update, but I'm a bit bored and thought, why not? First off, I'd like to say that after reading your replies, I think the reason why mom is horrible towards my brother is a mix of him looking like my dad and him being a boy. But I don't know for sure. Now for the update. A bit after I made the post, I went to talk to my brother who was in his room. He was fine, but when I asked him to tell me how he felt about, well, everything, he broke down. My heart broke into a million pieces. At that moment, I knew that he couldn't stay with our mother anymore. So I called my boyfriend of 5 years and asked him if my brother and I could move in for a bit. He has the space, and my brother gets along with him, so he agreed. My mom didn't give a shirt. She didn't even say goodbye to him. She asked me if I could stay but completely ignored my brother's presence. I tried my hardest to stay calm and not shout at her for it, but the way she was acting was so mean. According to my sister, my mother still makes mean comments about my brother even though he's not there, so staying calm is really hard right now. Anyways, I called my dad as well and basically told him everything. He was a bit angry at first because nobody told him this before, and he wouldn't have left any of us in a different country had he known. But he calmed down and talked to my brother for like over an hour, and by the time he hung up, my brother had tears of joy and relief in his eyes. It's still unclear whether my dad will be visiting or if my brother will be moving or how we're going to proceed from now on due to, you know what, but I can assure you that my mother won't be able to say anything to my brother again. Unfortunately, I am unable to put my brother into therapy because I don't have a lot of money on me, but I will try and talk to one of my friends who is pretty knowledgeable in the mental health department and see if I can help my brother. Thanks to everyone who gave their 2 cents. Edit, Jesus. Thank you all so much for the advice, information, awards. Seriously, whoa, kindness, and yeah, everything. I've taken everything into consideration and have tried to respond to as many replies as I can. There's too many, I'm going to do some research and will look into getting some help for my brother. I'd also like to say that if you're going or went through something similar, I'm rooting for you, and I know many of you may not be religious, but I am keeping all of you in my prayers. Seriously. Thanks so much for everything, and I hope you all have a wonderful day or night.
More comments.
Hey, I'm happy that you got him out of the toxic environment. If you are in the USA, you can apply for medical assistance since your brother has no income. And depending on your age, you might be able to apply for assistance or even get child support from your so-called mom, especially if she's getting child support from your father.
I am actually in the USA, so I'll see what I can do. Thanks.
A lot of us, abused as kids, struggle because no one stood up for us, ever. Your brother will have a long way to go and undoubtedly it messed him up, but you have made sure that's one less point on the long list of trauma abuse can create.
I'm very sorry about your situation. I can't do much, but I hope you have and will find peace. I don't know if you're religious, but I'll keep you and every other person who hasn't been able to get out of an abusive situation in my prayers.
Thank you. 3. You're a good sister. Your brother is lucky to have you in his life.
I am more lucky to have that kid in my life. He doesn't know this, but he helped me a lot when we were younger. I remember when he was 8 and I was maybe 23 or 24. I broke up with this guy and was a huge mess, but he, in his little superhero costume that I had bought him for his birthday earlier, said that I don't need to be sad anymore because I had him and that he would rescue me every time I was down. I sobbed like a baby. I'm rambling, but yeah, I am way luckier to have that kid in my life. Thank you so much for the kind words, though. 3.
Sometimes after reading these stories, I'm still surprised at how some parents can be so mean, evil, and abusive to their own children. OP is not the ashhole, but the saving grace for her brother. Her parents are both major ashholes. Her mom for not dealing with whatever trauma her separating from her ex brought on, then taking it out on her son for existing, looking too much like his dad. This is just pure insanity. The dad is an ashhole because he clearly wasn't checking in enough on any of his kids for it to get to this point. My hope is this is the start of him being more and properly involved in all of his children's lives. Just because he's a guy doesn't mean he can't suffer from image issues. If he is as underweight as OP says, clearly his mom's words are bouncing around in his head. I hope OP and her siblings get the therapy and help that they need, and their parents step up.
Thanks for joining me today. I'm glad we got to enjoy this ride together. Comment if you have any suggestions, similar experiences, takes, or stories on this situation. Subscribe and like if you're interested and looking forward to our next updated story.